feeling heading into the game?
Obviously, we're happy just to get over last week, so that we could actually make it into that grand final. It was obviously an important game for us, but certainly we're looking forward to it.
Obviously, Saturday's game is so close. Do you think the girls have got to be able to get up again?
Yes, once that game's finished, it's finished, and we're ready to move on to the next one. So, you know, we focus on what's coming up, and obviously that's the game against Melton on Saturday.
So obviously you fell short to them a couple of weeks ago. Where did you go wrong, and what will you do this time differently?
I think probably our preparation will be a little bit better this time because we hadn't seen their full team or their team at full strength. So we probably will go in a little bit better prepared, have a bit more idea of what we're up against.
Have you got any sort of areas of the court that will be won in, or is anyone shutting anyone down in particular? Or
we're pretty even right across the court, so we'll be just targeting really working one-on-one and having every player doing their role.
They've obviously got quite a few strong players in there, even a couple of sort of state league representatives. Are they sort of a threat?
Obviously they're very strong players, Brooke Thompson and Mel McCauley. That was the first time we'd seen Mel out on court last time we played them. So we don't want to focus too heavily on those players because obviously there are 5 other players on the court and we need to account for all of them.
You've been in this situation a lot. Do you think you've got the team to go all the way this year?
I certainly believe we have got the team. You know, we've had changes. We lost 3 players from last season, Alice Wack, Maddie Davis and Casey Frame. So they were significant people to replace. And we've brought in Laura McDonald and Molly Boyle from our under-18 team, but we've also got a lot of smart old heads still on the court. Stacey, Cara, Romsey, Emma Burton, so hopefully they'll be able to hold us in good stead. No, Stacey, not that old, but experienced player.
So, do you think it will be that mix of youth and experience?
I hope that we've got a good balance there, yes.
Are the older ones doing anything with those younger few to sort of help them?
I think really that started at the beginning of the season, so we have a pretty strong culture at Lake Wendouree, the way we train, the way we behave, the way we play, and I think the new players brought into that very, very quickly because that's just the way we are at the club.
Nerves, excitement?
Look, a little bit of both, which is, I think, happens all the time for a final. I think it's certainly a very exciting time. It's what you play for. It's good to be there, but obviously we want to be playing well so we can put on a good performance.
And I think how many are you going for in 6, is it? Your 6th premiership?
Well, we lost last year to Redan, so it's our 6th grand final.
And do you think you can go all the way?
I think we can. I hope so. You know, we've got to be able to put a good performance out on the day, and obviously Melton were very strong against us last time. They beat us by 3 goals. So, as I said last time, you know, it's such a different thing. Anything can happen on the day. And just like us, I'm sure Melton will be working as hard as they can to get that win. So I don't think it'll come easily for either team.
Any injuries?
No injuries, no.
In previous years, you've had opponents that you've known an awful lot about and have met in finals and grand finals. How interesting and exciting is it for you to be against someone completely different, a new face entirely in a grand final?
We played Melton in 2008 and they don't have any of the same players currently playing. So it is very different and they've done a great job. After that grand final, I think they lost most or all of their senior team. So to be able to build up again from that and reach a grand final is a fantastic effort for Melbourne. Having said that, obviously it is a little bit of an unknown for us, and from a coaching perspective, I guess a little bit more hard work because we're not as clear about what's going to be happening out on the court.
Does it mean from a coach that what you can do in some ways during a game has more impact than perhaps in previous years when the players have been very familiar with who they're playing on?
We've got a fairly versatile team, so I think last time we played Melton, probably Stacey and Emma were the only positions that didn't change. if we feel a need to make changes, we certainly will do that.
Thank you.
All right, Stacey, what can you tell us? Obviously, as Sally said, you've been in this position before. How do you prepare for the game?
Yeah, it's every year, I guess, preparing for a grand final is different. You've always got different opponents, and yeah, this year we've been really focusing on mentally preparing. We're looking at previous games and looking at how we can improve on how we played in the last games. And this year it's been great. We've got a really good, as Sal said, strong team. We've got a couple of new players, and it feels like they've kind of been around for years. I know I've played with my little sister quite a lot previously, but it's we're just preparing as normal. We have our couple of trainings a week, and we'll have dinner, and we'll just go through the game plan for Saturday, and just as we do our normal things, and we're all just really excited and just eager to get out there on Saturday.
To lose to the side a couple of weeks ago, does that sort of change things?
It does a little bit, I guess. As Sal said, we didn't really know what their team was like coming into a couple of weeks ago, the final. We hadn't played them with a full strength team throughout the year, so it was the unknown. And I think from that game a couple of weeks ago, we've come out with we were able to see where we needed to work on more, and it was great to have that game as a builder, and to verse them again now in the final. We're really looking forward to challenging them, and we're expecting a really close game again. There's I guess everyone will probably expect that, and we're working on a few things at training that hopefully will get us over the line on Saturday.
Yeah. Just if you personally, is there anything that you're working on, you need to work on, or what you're focusing on?
Well, I guess being one of the leaders in the team, I always focus on going out there and encouraging my teammates, and just looking after our younger players, and just being a real team player. And that's one of my main things, and just doing my role. If myself and all my other opponents, we have a standard that we have to meet each game. If we know that we can meet that standard, we know we've done our job, and hopefully if we all meet that standard, we'll come away with a win, hopefully.
And to fall short last year, usually you're in the winning sort of premiership team, and to fall short last year, will that be in the back of your mind?
As Sal said, after we kind of finish a game, we've got about a 48-hour rule to get over it, and then we look forward to the next game. You don't just lose a grand final and you shut off. You always remember that grand final that you lost, and you also remember the grand finals that you win. And losing that grand final is definitely a motivator for this year to take it back on the court. You don't want to feel that way again. So we know how good winning grand final is, and then how bad losing one is. So that will be probably a minor factor going into Saturday. But it's a new environment to be facing Melton. We played them 4 years ago. 4 years ago, but it's a new team, so we're really just focusing on playing Melton this year and just going from there.
I guess less so that in football, it's sometimes seen that having a week off allows you to be fresh, and obviously netball's not played for quite as long. Is it in fact the other way, perhaps potentially an advantage not to have the week off? Do you think that you feel more focused or fresher because you haven't had 14 days to think about it?
Yeah, that's right. I still don't know which is the best way. Many teams win grand finals having the week off, and some don't. So I know the last grand final we won, we played straight through, and I think in netball it's probably is handy to have that extra week in between. With football, their injuries, they seem to they appreciate that week off. I find netball is good just to keep our momentum running really and playing, and us girls are lucky enough to have a few training sessions through the week, so we always get the chance to play. But I do enjoy having that week before to really prepare you, and your mind's mentally set just with the week to go, not the fortnight.
And just, obviously last weekend was such a close, involved game. Is it hard to sort of switch off and not go into it almost, they use the phrase, played your grand final last week?
No, definitely not. I think that's, in the Ballarat Football League, for years we've kind of been building up to a standard where we get to have really close games in finals, and in the past it probably hasn't been like that. So I think it's a real advantage having the close games leading up to the grand final. I don't really believe in playing your grand final before you actually get to the grand final. I think the closer the games you play, the more prepared you are to have a big hit out on the day. So I think I've enjoyed having the close games. I think it gets you right in the spirit of finals, and I think that's what finals are all about. There should be the two best teams there on that Saturday playing for it. So if they're closer, it's more enjoyable.
So, thank you.
No worries.